Hey, Amanda, how are you doing?
Great, Charlene. How are you?
I'm good. Excited once again to get together with you and talk about what the heck is going on in the market. So, just so that by way of introduction, I'm Charlene Williams. I am a real estate broker. I'm with Real Estate HOMEWARD. I've been in the industry for 15 years, and we have the lovely Amanda with us, and Amanda will introduce herself.
Yeah, so my name is Amanda Pivar. I'm a mortgage agent with Vine Group. I have been a broker for 8 years, but in the industry for almost 12. So I have a long time in the game, as well as Charlene.
Excellent. So just to preface this by saying we know the Bank of Canada is going to come out with an announcement next week, July 12th.
Yeah.
Expectations.
I will be honest, my expectation is not a popular opinion. I do think we are going to see one more increase, hopefully not any more after that. The way that I'm starting to look at it, though, is I think we are nearing the top of our increases and inflation is really coming down. We're seeing gas prices down, we're seeing our numbers come down, which is a good thing. It's kind of one of these things where the quicker we hit the height and bring inflation back down to 2%, the sooner we'll start seeing rates come back down. The Bank of Canada is pushing us to some type of a recession. Recession usually indicates that rates will start coming down. So I know anyone on a variable, yes, it is painful right now, but in a year from now, hopefully we're saying, yes, rates are coming down and we're riding that wave back down.
Yeah, it is very painful. I'm one of those people that's on a variable mortgage, and I'm not even sure if I should lock in at this point. I'm trying to hold out. You're shaking your head now.
I mean, unless people are in a really bad situation, the variable, especially anyone who got one a year or two ago, have really good discounts. The fixed are not too much behind them. And in some situation now, they're actually higher than the variable. So it is not the time to lock in, especially when we are nearing the edge of these high rates. Inflation's down to 3.4. That's a really big jump from where we were last year at 8%. We really only have another 1.4% to go to back down around the 2 mark.
Okay, so this is hopefully going to be good news. I know that it's unpopular, your opinion, that they are going to increase the rates, but if you're wrong, great for us.
Exactly. Hope I'm
And if
wrong.
you're right, you're right.
Yeah. And again, if I'm right on it, it's not going to last forever. It's temporary pain, but long-term gain.
And then I also read somewhere that uh, interest rates that are regular interest rates were increasing, is like the fixed interest rate. Is that the case?
Yeah, we did see a pretty big jump actually in the last 24 hours. In the
What?
last month alone, we've seen a big jump from where we were at the beginning of June to where we are now. They're just following the bond yields and the Bank of Canada announcements and what they're predicting. These will also eventually sort themselves out and come back down once we see bond yield market a little bit stronger. And I think also when there's more security with Bank of Canada.
So you really are playing with a little bit of time in between. Let's say the last time you and I got together, you said, yeah. Fixed rates were a good idea. And that little bit of time, like if you hesitate, you're lost.
100%, unfortunately. Um, People try to time the market, and I think that's the worst thing you can possibly do. I mean, anyone who bought last year at the peak and we're freaking out, if you actually look at our data, we're really only 40,000 on average behind price point than we were at the peak of our market last year. Trying to time our market is very hard. It rebounds so quickly and it changes so quickly. We went from having a May and June where everything was flying off the market to maybe a bit of a slower July, which, let's face it, is a normal July market in Toronto. People go on
Yeah,
vacation. No one's in the city. It's quiet.
right. Which is what we like about being in the city.
Yeah, and I think anyone who's trying to time the market, now is the time because even though rates are higher, those are temporary. They're not going to
Mhm.
last forever. Your home's going to last longer. And if in the next, let's just say in a year from now, rates go down even 1%, all the buyers who are sitting on the timeline waiting for this rates to come down are all going to be going in droves to the market to try to get in. And we are going to see another seller's market, and it's very, very hard for buyers.
Right, right. Wow. Okay. That, I mean, that is a lot to consider, but it's potentially good news. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and I have to say September, October, when the next one after this, the next announcement comes out, I will be listening with bated breath.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I know it's probably not going to come down. They'll probably just hold it at that rate. And I'm okay with the hold. It's the up that I don't want to have anymore.
Because I think I mean, I'm seeing with a lot of my clients is they've adjusted. We stress test all these mortgages on higher rates anyway, and people have gotten increase in salaries, things like that, that these new payments are just their new normal. Their life is adjusted according to them. And I mean, yes, of course, some people are struggling, but a lot of people have just kind of adjusted. I know a lot of clients who have increased their payments to kind of keep up, especially the variables that don't change. And they're thinking, well, you know what, when rates are coming down and my payments up 100, even $1,000 a month, that's only going to benefit me in the long run.
Right, right. And just to segue this, like I was dealing with a lot of lease clients over the last month, and I've noticed that um, lease prices have gone up. Like it's a crazy amount. I'm pretty sure these landlords are raising the rates or the lease amounts to be able to cover their mortgage, right? I don't think that there's going to be a big of a difference between what their mortgage is and what they're actually getting for rent.
No, there's not. Right now, they're just covering their expenses and they're playing the equity game. They're building up their equity, and eventually their price values will go back up. So landlords, I think it's a great time for any landlord who wants to get into the market, because you know what? Maybe you just break even for the first year or two, but when rates start coming down, rent prices are not coming down. So fuck that. These are the new norm. So in a few years, landlords who are buying right now will be cash flowing versus just breaking even.
Right. And that's a huge thing because for right now, I mean, do you want to spend $2,500 on a basement apartment that's a 2 bedroom, or would you rather, if you had the means, go out and purchase one for yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing junior one bedrooms for around the $500,000 mark. That is not going to last forever, nor have we seen that in a long time. I think a lot of people are now realizing it's time to buy. When you're paying, you're right, 2,500 for a basement apartment, you could literally own a property for around the same for your mortgage every month.
Wow, I still remember the days when basement apartments were like 650, seven
Yeah,
fifty.
the
You
cheap
know,
living. Yeah, I know.
right? Because that's just crazy to me that you would pay that much for a basement. Like I have a client looking in East Gwillimbury for a rental, and their budget is 3,500 a month, and we're talking top floor only. Like they're renting out the basement separately. That's crazy to me.
I
And
know.
I'm in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, now is the time anyone who can buy a duplex right now and live in one unit or rent out the other, it's a great opportunity. I have a couple single clients who are actually buying duplexes and living in the basement apartment. They don't
Yeah.
need all the space. So why not live in the basement, make it really nice, and rent out the top floor that basically covers your entire mortgage every month?
Yeah. Wow. It's nuts. But do you have any questions for me?
No, I was gonna ask about this real estate market because I'm hearing so much about it that that was actually gonna be my question for you.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. We're still seeing multiple offers in places like Durham. And then I've got buyers who are like, oh no, we're gonna wait until December. We think the prices are gonna drop. Like really, the prices will not drop,
The data
you know?
shows otherwise.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things. If you sit on the fence for too long, you're not gonna get into the market. So
Very true. And some of the top billionaires in the world, one of the ladies on Shark Tank, she keeps saying anyone who's not buying and is sitting on the fence right now is making such a mistake, and they're only going to get caught up in the bottleneck next year and then be priced out again.
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely correct. Anyways, it was great talking to you, Amanda. Thank you so much for all of your expertise. And the reason why I like talking to you is because you put things into layman's terms that even I understand.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I love coming on and sharing my mortgage knowledge.
That's great. Okay, we will talk to you again soon. Thanks again.
Thanks, Charlene.